Just give me a minute, we'll get started. You about ready? Good evening, Final Fantasy community. What is going on? Welcome back to the US Octagon Open. I am your host, Lawrence Oliva. And for this final feature match, I also have joining us Nicola from the Envy Games. Nicola, what's going on tonight?
Hey guys, what's going on? What's going on, Lawrence? Awesome to be here with you.
Yeah, man, glad to have you, definitely. Um, we got Mohammad and Alejandro just itching to get this final game going. We got some sick prize support from Nicole at the Emmy Games, along with our other sponsors on your screen. So thanks for doing that, man, and thanks to the rest of you guys.
Of course, yeah, man. I am so excited to see these matches, and I'm really happy that all of us in the community were able to get together and put this on for everyone over here in the U.S. Between Cards of Evilise, TCG Titans, Trading Card Game Pit, even Esperden. He's Lucas has been doing lots of great stuff all over the place, and it's awesome that he helped to put us together
For
with
sure.
us, and of course my man over here, Lawrence.
All right,
So,
guys. So without any further ado, we're gonna get this match underway. If any of you guys haven't watched or kept up with it, we have Alejandro. He's gonna be playing Water Ice, and his username is Draxon. And we have Mohammed. He's on Mono Water, and I'm gonna try and pronounce his username, Mzazm. So we'll get this thing going, and it looks like Alejandro rolled and is gonna be going first. This is a best of 3 match. Definitely going to be interesting to see what these guys are able to do. Um, I want to say Mono Water is a little bit more favored in this match. But that being said, Sephiroth is definitely a card. So
Yeah, I would agree with you. As I think going into this, we definitely have seen what mono water can do right now. But ice water, and like you said, Sephiroth, and everything in between. It should keep things spicy.
yeah, yeah, for sure. All right, so Alejandro is going to start us off. Mohammad decided to take a mulligan, and we see the Layla go down for a Yuna. Pull up these guys' deck list too, so we know what's going on. So both players opening turn one Yuna. Interesting.
Okay, all right.
And Mohammad getting down that very very relevant scholar. Very great backup for water. All those powerful entry effects.
Here we go.
Yeah, we see Alejandro wasting no time, slamming down the Edward. Gonna start ripping some cards from Muhammad's hand to try and slow him down a bit. Muhammad just playing the backup game, doing what Water likes to do, getting those night targets out of the deck so that they're ready to go in live. He runs Gladiator as well, so both Lena and Gladiator have some targets. It looks like he's switching the knight out for the Viking. Changed his mind, I guess.
Makes sense. Probably wants to get some card draw back after losing something from Edward.
Completely fair. That unit's going to be pretty relevant, I think. Both players running 3 Thamfrit and Muhammad running 3 Chuchulain. So we got the Viking just coming down for card draw and maybe he gets a point of damage in. We'll see.
Now, with this matchup here, do we want to see, because obviously, the consistency of mono water generally, it's monocolor, but do we want to see ice water let in early damage against mono water at all before, the full setup is in effect?
I think it's okay. I think both decks can afford to take some damage. Um, they both have about an equal amount of card draw. They're both running the full copies of Layla Viking. Water might have a little bit more card draw off the backups, so um, I know in past matches Alejandro likes to try and play a little more aggressive for a ice water deck.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see kind of how that goes. We
Okay,
see,
we got.
yeah, we see Alejandro slamming down the Sarah. He's just gonna be ripping cards all game. That's
He
the
said, "No, you do not get the draw, and if you do, you're gonna lose
that's
it."
it. I wonder if he's gonna slow throw down. Okay, so he's gonna play down another Viking. So he's just gonna get some bodies on board. He's got some very tricky tech cards in his deck. He runs a one-off Snow. Um, he runs Lunafray as a one of, Devout as a one of. Um, you
Yeah, I
can't
think
really
that snow could
prepare for
definitely
him.
be that snow could definitely be helpful against against this matchup.
Yeah, but I know that. Oh, actually, no, I'm mistaken. Neither. Um, yeah, Mohammed's deck does not run Ash. I was thinking of one of the prior Mono Water decks, so not a ton of ways to activate. So we see a early Cognazo come out. So he's gonna
Oh
minus
wow.
3k the board and get rid of that Viking just to prevent Sarah from trying to swing through. That Cognazo preventing 4k damage during Alejandro's turn. That's pretty relevant actually. Most of his forwards are going to be that 9k or less, so will be interesting to see. He's got plenty of answers though, so I'll have to see what he can do to answer that.
Yeah, I think ideally he still wants to get down another backup to keep up, but he also needs to create board pressure because Cagnazzo is just gonna create more issues as long as it stays on the board, and he can't push through some early points.
So we see a Conjure come down. Not a very commonly played backup, but it lets you pull out a standard unit, so definitely excels in these two-color decks that run multiple types of standard units. I'll have a look over Alejandro's list real quick, but he's got 6 different forward targets for that, and it can also do backups, so he can pull back his Devout if he wanted to, or Gladiator or whatever. Wow, and Mohammad is he's just he just doesn't care. He's gonna Cagnazo. He's gonna follow up Cloud. He's just gonna keep going, and
Comes the pain train.
that's it.
Swinging in. What? Did he let the trade happen?
Yeah, you gotta trade there. That Cloud being so relevant because if it starts swinging through, I mean that's it. He's just gonna get rid of the Viking anyway. So,
Mm-hmm.
and of course with Scholar being up, he's got 2 very good targets to bounce if he needed to.
Yeah, this is a very good setup. Very good setup. He drew well this beginning of this match.
Yeah, and Alejandro though having just a tremendous amount of cards in hand, and wow, there comes down the Famfrit. So Cagnazo is
Okay.
gone. It's a great answer. It'd be sweet if he had another one.
Right, and then force at least the Scholar. Put him back down to 3.
Yeah, I think at that point you just let the Cloud go though. He runs 3 of them, so not the worst. Uh-oh, is it Sephiroth? Oh, Veritas. That is a great answer.
Okay.
I told you that card was good.
Here we go.
Just like that, Alejandro stabilized, got rid of his board. Veritas into Veritas. And now Alejandro's forced to break one of his backups off of that. Seems like a good choice.
Yeah.
And that's it. We're about halfway through the deck, and the playfield is pretty well matched.
Yep. I love the fact that these guys are both very confident in what they're doing and what they're playing. They're very fast plays. They're not taking too much time to really process. They already know what's going on and how to deal with it.
For sure.
Oh, let's see the Waka.
I feel like Alejandro plays a Sephiroth here. He's got to have it by now. He's got to have one of them,
With that hand, I would hope so. He's
right?
got so many cards.
Let's go.
Stop holding out on us. Show us the Sephiroth.
There's 5. There's 7. Boom. If Alejandro can keep Mohammed's hand down for the next couple of turns, that's really going to help him try and start making a push. Oh, and the Veritas goes. And the Nicole. Oh, boy. He must have
Wow. I
2
got...
really good cards left in his hand. Yeah, there goes the fucking special.
Let's see what it is.
Oh, another Veritas and a Cloud. All the Veritas are gone.
Wow.
That's 3 Veritas. He has no worries about Veritas now. You worry with your backup line and being able to break itself with the gladiators that if you go down to 3, that if a Veritas comes down and you don't draw any backups, you really can't afford to get rid of it.
Right.
So having both Veritas gone is just so sick. The Viking going in. He's got to have an answer. He's got to have, what does he have? Is he running the new Leviathan, I think?
I mean, he's got all backups
Let me
active.
see what he's got.
Oh, okay.
So he's just going to Scholar Viking, get that card draw. Maybe even play it down again. He's got a different follow-up. Yeah, he's just gonna refill his hand.
There we go. Okay.
Yeah, he seems like he had a pretty good turn rip to be able to do that with Porum and all. Yeah, he's not running the new Leviathan. I'm surprised. That card seems pretty good, but he's made it this far without it. He doesn't feel like he needs it.
What other summits that he has? So he's got Famfrit and Kukulin.
Yep, 3 and 3, and Alejandro has 3 Famfrit and 3 Glacia. Down comes the Gladiator. He's got some very relevant targets in his deck, and Knight and Viking. The Knight being a 9K once it comes in. Yes, that new Leviathan is stupidly OP. I completely agree, and that's why I love playing water.
You're so evil.
All right, so what is all right, so Alejandro just going for the card draw. He can afford it. Both decks the same right now. And Alejandro's slightly ahead on his deck size. He's got a follow-up play. He's paying 2. He's thinking about paying 2. I bet you he's got a Renoa in hand and he's trying to figure if he wants to play it or not.
He's got two. He's got 2 in hand, right? Yeah.
No, Alejandro's got 6.
Yeah, but Muhammad is
Oh,
too.
Mohammad has 2. Yeah, you definitely want to take that out. Just gonna play the backup game again.
There we go.
Guys, I just want to thank you guys again for joining us. I got Nicola from the MB Games joining me. This is the US Octagon Open final match. We got Draxon, who is Alejandro on the water ice side, and we have Mohammad on the mono water side. Appreciate you guys being here with us tonight.
Yeah, both phenomenal players with some great tech and great decks that they're playing right now. I want to see what Mono Water is going to do to answer the Sephiroth.
He's got to do something. He's just gonna keep playing Vikings.
Oh
That's like the fourth Viking.
my god.
Let me see Porum going in to do some work.
Oh, Merweb.
Yeah, he ripped the Merle Web off, so that seems pretty good. He discarded a Ysael, so that tells me maybe he's either got the Renoa and or the Sephiroth in hand. Let me
Ooh,
see the
that
knight come down.
big boy knight.
Yeah. Okay, so we see Sid Reigns come down. Maybe he's
Good
gonna blink the
opportunity.
Sid Reigns. And then S special with Seth or something. I don't know what his plans are. There's the blink. So we're gonna get rid of Porum.
Pitch Renov for Renov.
Yep. And two cards discarded. Such a sick play. I mean, that's one of the reasons you run Ice Water to begin with. Killing
That
it
would
up to 8k thing, double discard. Like, and it only cost him 6 CP and 2 cards. Like, that's pretty good.
be insane if he had the Sephiroth in hand and he ripped that too.
Yeah, he's got one.
We only got
Yeah,
one
he's only
hand.
got one card in hand, and
It's not worth it.
yeah, I've seen Alejandro play a fair amount with this deck, and things are gonna get very scary very quickly for Mohammad if he doesn't draw well these next few turns.
Six.
Oh, there's a Cloud of Darkness. And with only one card in hand, he has no answers.
Yeah, talk about getting scary really quickly. Like 15 seconds later, it's
I
already
called it,
coming.
man. I
It's
called it.
already coming.
Yeah. Called it.
Comes the Sephiroth. So, what do we need to see from Mono Water to get out of this kind of situation? It's
Game reset.
game reset.
No, honestly, if anybody's going to, it's going to be Mohammad. I mean, this guy, he's genuinely impressed me in a game that I'm not impressed very often watching him play in his lines. So it really just depends on what he rips. So the Layla Viking seems good. He's just going to try and stave
Yep.
off some of that damage.
Soak it up, draw some cards. Hopefully, keep some bodies on board. Maybe pull a keg. How many Kegnots does he run? 3.
Yeah, 3. It's a whole slew of 3 ofs. I give it my stamp of approval. I'm a big fan of running a bunch of 3-0s.
Yeah, that'd be nice, but he can't take the damage.
The
He's got a
problem
four.
is the problem is with mono water is with like a card like Cagnazo, you're not going to get over 4K. It's very, very difficult because you have to have four present bodies and then slam down the Cagnazo. And it's just
Hmm.
not really going to happen. So the Nicole is really good. I think we've seen one or two go off. Um, but the Nicole Cagnazo, I mean, that's the play right now. If he had it, it would actually swing things dramatically in his favor. But if he doesn't get it next turn, it may come too late. Hopefully, he at least got one of the pieces in his hand and he's just waiting for the other. For those of you guys that don't know, the new Nicole, when you have five backups down like Mohammad does, it comes in, targets two things for 5K. So comboing that with the current board that he has, he could get as much as 3, 4 K off the Cagnazo as well, and kill two up to 9K things, and then 5K. I'm sorry, and then 3 or 4K the rest of the board. So, um, or we can just see a Sephiroth and try and close out the game.
Oh my god.
Yeah, he's being very liberal with that Sephiroth special today. Yeah, so Muhammad not drawing ideally, discarding a Brawn and a Scholar. Definitely not some cards we want to see.
Yeah.
Oh boy, and the snow comes
Oh,
down.
wow. Wow, wow, wow.
So he's going to get the Cloud effect, minus 5K on the Layla and Dola Viking. Yep, there it goes.
Oh, I think your screen is popping into
Oh, thanks. I need a bigger monitor. So he opted to block with the Viking because it would have just been doled on the follow-up anyway. We see a Brawny X. That's a card.
What is he gonna
Pulls out a Knight. I mean, at this point, it almost doesn't matter because he's going to take 3 more points of damage. He's going to draw, and he's going to have 6 cards left in deck. So
Yeah,
Alejandro can
that's
literally
so
just
rough.
stalemate. He can Cloud of Darkness attack with onto the Viking, make him draw again. Um,
Cook line.
that's a 7K hit, so he could actually target the Romanoa on that. Oh, he opts to do the Cloud. That's odd. Oh, because it blocked. That's right. The Viking blocked, so that Cloud will die.
That helps a little bit.
Yeah, I
Yep.
don't know if I would have. Yeah, I mean, I guess you kind of have to on the Cloud because at this point the damage doesn't almost doesn't matter.
Let's see. What do we he's doing one.
So he got another Kuchulain in hand. I mean, I feel like if you got it, you got to play it. You got to save some damage. You could try and maybe stabilize a little bit.
Gonna have something. 4 cards.
I don't even think we've really seen any Lenas this game, unless I
Mm-mm.
missed some. So, I mean, Lena Knight seems huge right now, getting an 8 and a 9K body down.
Just have to deal with that snow though. That snow is so
Yeah, that
threatening
late
right
game snow is just sick. I'm sure he held it for a long time. Yep, down comes the Chuchulain.
now. Yep. Good night, Renoa.
And in goes the Sephiroth.
Yo, if he rips another EX off this.
I mean, he almost needs to. Oh, and there goes the Lena. And he's down to 5 cards now, so it's almost impossible for Water to deal 5 points of damage in just 2 turns.
Yeah, that's tough. That's
I mean, if he had like Nicole Cagnazzo, that's 7 and 2 cards. That leaves him with 2. Discard Knight. You have 4 bodies, and you board wipe him. That could do it. That's about what he needs to do, and it just depends if he has it.
yeah, and he's got no hand right now, so this would be the
Yeah,
time if he's got to do it now.
100%. The Viking will go in for a damage. If he can board wipe him and throw down 3 forwards, then the next turn he swings for game. If Alejandro draws dead, so he didn't instantly concede, so he definitely has some lines. Yes, if he starts his turn and he goes to draw, if he can't fully draw 2 cards, then the game just ends. And his deck is on an odd count, so here comes the Nicole, I'm sure. No, maybe not. He's going to pay it differently. Probably keep the Gladiator up. Maybe he doesn't have Lena. He's going to pour him, so he's just going to go search a card. He's got to be a little careful, though, because if that Viking goes at any point in time, it's going to, shorten the game by 1 turn. So he's just got to be careful. Viking goes in for a point of damage. Black Mage turns over. And what is Mohammed's follow-up? He's got to have a follow-up. He's got to, because he would have conceded. What's he going to do? He's got to be careful, too, because if he can't deal with the Sephiroth right now, then any hand dumps, that Dull Freeze is going to be super relevant. He can't afford that without getting rid of him. This is game 1. We have Alejandro, that's Draxon, and Mohammad, that's Zaiem. I see Mohammad pay 3 for another Chuchulain. Okay, so 7K. Oh, he must have a Cagnazzo. He must have been thinking if it was worth it to get the extra draw. There it is. So 8 characters minus 4K to the board. Still leaves Sid Reigns though. And he chooses to discard the Lena. Pull back out Knight. And that's it. I don't know there. I think I wouldn't have played the Purim. Um, you still Chuchulain, Kignazo. It still clears those two guys. And then he should have had enough CP to Lena Knight. So Alejandro breaks the Gladiator. He's going to probably pull back a Time Mage if I know him. It was a really sick play that he did last game for, or last match for game. Now he's going to pull out the Viking. Just get a draw off. At this point, Alejandro's just playing defense. He's just going to set. Oh boy. Just bodies. Bodies for days. I can't check the zones, but I don't think Mohammad has any other answers left. When he's got Ludafreya. Oh man. Goes back to the field dull at least, but Mohammad just starting to swing for damage. Those Vikings and those little bodies just putting in so much work. The whole game just warding off damage. Down comes the Lunafreya into the Layla. Pull back a Viking. Just because he can. I guess he just wanted to see the game to the end, just in case Alejandro misplayed or took some extra damage and maybe he had an answer in his hand. I guess we'll never know, but Alejandro takes game one due to deck out. Mohammed's going to start us off. We see Mohammad start us off with the Merle Web. Start cycling some cards out and through. Let's see Mohammad play down a Gladiator as well. So getting down 2 backups and get going. Alejandro plays down a unit and passes. Yo, I got you
Can you
now,
hear me
man.
now, Lawrence?
Yeah, I got you.
Beautiful.
Had some technical difficulties, but Nicola's back. I was feeling a
There
little
we
lonely
go.
here, man. I was feeling a little
I
lonely.
was talking, but I guess you guys can hear me for a minute. Of
Yeah, it's all good. So
course.
Muhammad plays down the Scholar, and we see Alejandro going to search for some standard units. Maybe he's going to search out some ICP. Nope, going to get that Viking going. I bet you he plays it now. He can afford to be a little aggressive. Yep. Since he took the first game, try and put Muhammad on the defense a little bit. We saw 2 Famfrits go already and a Cloud of Darkness on Muhammad's side, so feeling pretty good about this line from Alejandro.
Yeah, that's pretty big right now, considering the way that we saw that first match play, and it
Yeah.
was back and forth, and he had, he used everything that he could have.
Well, he doesn't have the unit down, so like, not that you would want to Chuchulane such a undesirable target as those, but
Right.
I mean, he's not gonna have any answers. He's not he could overpay for 1 Famfrit, but then all the Famfrits are gone, so he's just gonna be
Right.
taking some damage. But Mono Water doesn't mind taking a little bit of damage.
No, I think his bigger threat was what we just saw was getting hit with a deck out.
Yeah,
Honestly.
for sure. And there goes the last Famfrit. Wow, so he just discards. He is not worried about his removal this game. He's just gonna play backups, play forwards, and try and push, I guess. Uh, oh man. If you guys haven't played this game before, that card that just came down, that's Veritas. He's apparently a good card.
Yes, from an avid Final Fantasy Brave Exvius player myself, Veritas does some pretty mean things. So,
We see Layla Viking going in for a couple points. Oh, that's a great play. So we get Nicole coming down, get rid of the Layla Viking.
that's perfect.
Yeah, no, it's completely fine. Muhammad is,
And he's at 5 backups.
yeah, I mean, he's apparently shaking off the first game, and he's like, I'm not losing the second one. It's just not gonna happen. Like,
Alex made me touch water cards earlier today. He better win.
nice. apparently water cards are pretty good in this meta right now.
Yeah, they're okay and stuff.
Oh wow, so point of damage going in, and Mohammad turns over a Veritas for in damage, and then in comes a Renoa into Veritas. Oh man. But he's only at 3 points of damage, so
And he's got a full backup lineup, so
Alejandro better watch himself. I mean, he's definitely putting some pressure on, but he's only on two backups. Hey, that's a good card. So the Veritas is going to get rid of the Veritas. That's going to get rid of the Veritas. That's going to get rid of a character. And it's a win-win for Mohammad because he's either going to get rid of a body that can't do damage next turn, or he's going to put him, down on one backup. And I don't know what
wow. I,
Alejandro is thinking, but he better be
I would have
careful.
taken the Renoa over the backups.
He wants the damage.
Yeah.
Over goes a Viking. Seems pretty good. I bet you Alejandro has another Layla Viking or something set up. Oh, he's just going to play backups. Maybe he's got two backups coming down. Yeah, he's just
Okay.
going to play down two backups. So he's fine now. He's back in it.
Yeah. What do the lists look like as far as CP count for most of the backups on both sides? They're pretty much mainly 2 drops, right?
Yeah, two drops or pseudo two drops.
Yeah.
Alejandro runs um, like Edward, Devout, Lunafreya, Snow, um, but those are all like one-off tech choices other than the Edward. Um, Everything else is 2 CP. Same thing on Mohammed's side other than Walk, it's all 2 CP or pseudo. Bateron, Gramps, Mirrorweb, Braun, Unischolar, Gladiator, Artemisian. So it's I
Yeah,
think
it's crazy. They both have this awesome rebound. Whether
yeah.
something goes, it just comes right back with another.
Well, that's ultimately what water does best, right? It just doesn't really care what's going on. It's able to recover. It's able to draw whatever it wants to do. So we see Alejandro just draw pass. Wants to keep some of those cards in hand. Doesn't want to deal with that Veritas right now, and he can afford to take some damage. Now, the last thing Water normally wants to do right now is start playing out forwards. Um, a lot of people would be tempted to play like a Lena Viking, or I'm sorry, a Lena Knight, or a Layla Viking. But Mohammed's definitely smarter than that. He's going to play a Porum. He's going to go fishing for some cards. We know there's no Famford in there. And the Chucha lane is not very relevant in this matchup, so very little removal
Mm-mm.
outside of his forwards. And he's just going to play down a Viking for a card and to threaten some damage next turn. Oh, the snow comes over, so that's a pretty good card.
That helps.
Because if I'm Alejandro, I'd like to play a couple forwards and then follow up turn, slam down that snow, and just go to town. So that snow hit was very, very good. I know
Yeah.
Mohammad is sighing. He is sighing in relief right now that that one-off snow is gone, as I would be.
He's got one less bead of sweat coming down his forehead right now.
Yeah, I mean, I don't honestly, I don't see how Mono Water loses here. We haven't seen any Cagnazo. We saw one Nicole. It's just I don't think it's gonna happen. I think Alejandro kind of sees that, but we'll see. We'll see what happens here. We're gonna get some damage live. Viking goes over. Veritas swings and down comes a Famfrit.
Ooh, okay.
He's gonna use the trigger, and Viking goes away. We'll get another
Of course.
card. Mohammad up to 6 cards in hand, which is beautiful.
You hit another one?
He hit
Oh,
Porum.
okay. For him.
Pour him into Porum. So he's gonna go and grab a card. I would assume he hasn't done it yet. And he, after he uses that Porum effect, he's gonna draw and start his turn with 7 cards and be in a pretty good position.
Yeah, that's huge. They're both at same damage, 4-4. Um, Alejandro's sitting 4 cards up right now, so we'll see if that becomes any kind of relevancy as the match goes on. If he's going to try to play slower, since Mohammed's already developed pretty well.
Right. Muhammad's got to play something out. I wonder if he's just going to like break a gladiator and then put down another backup or something.
Yeah, those gladiators have been really putting in work on both sides.
Alejandro's saying he's having some trouble. Oh, there it goes. He's got it. So there's 2 ways that you can look at the top cards of your deck, and one of the ways it's kind of weird. It doesn't work properly or something. So he must have just done that. Oh, is he gonna play a Lenonite? Oh man, down comes the Lenonite.
Oh
He's
yeah,
just he's gonna threaten game. I mean that's what he's doing.
that feels good right
It
there.
feels pretty good actually now.
Look at that hand though. That hand is insane.
That's a big hand.
Oh my god. 8 cards.
That's a big
Okay.
hand.
That Veritas though is definitely advantageous. I feel like we're gonna end up seeing some kind of big play this turn with 8 cards. He's probably counting all his CP, seeing if he could play everything.
Oh yeah. No, he's gonna make a run. We'll see some interesting lines come out.
Okay.
So the Sid Reigns goes over. He's what's he paying? He's got a
So,
Kuja. He can lock down the Veritas. He's paying 7, so the Sephiroth's coming down.
yeah.
Boy, playing Sephiroth off 3 backups and he still has 5 cards in hand. So sick. So we see Yuna and Nicole go down. Wow.
Oh.
I don't know. Unless he's got a second Nicole, I don't know if I would have got rid of that thing.
Yeah, he's got to be holding a second one in hand because he lost all that removal earlier in the game.
Absolutely. Yeah, ripping cards isn't going to be enough though, because he can still technically threaten game.
Yeah, just too many big bodies on board right now along with it.
Yeah, he's got to watch. He's discarding Time Mage. And he's discarding Sephiroth and Renoa. Is he going to play the Veritas? Yep. So down comes Veritas. Just going to shrink that board so there's no chance that Mohammad can threaten game next turn.
Here
Down comes
comes
the
the night party.
Cloud of Darkness.
Wow. Wow, what a board.
10k. Onto the Seth. He's gone. So we got one knight coming in. Alejandro's going to take probably 1 or maybe 2 points of damage. The Veritas and the Lena both able to attack. I think you take that damage. Yep. Layla could have helped.
Yeah, that would have been nice. A little bit of
Yeah.
something. But
And I think you just break the Veritas to make Alejandro get rid of another backup. I know. He's going to... What did he get rid of? Merweb. So there's no way he's coming back from this. Not
yeah, it
5
feels like
forwards.
we're about to go to game 3.
Yep. Yeah, he just conceded. So those double gladiators, if he would have had a hand and a little bit of a board state, if he would have been able to kept that Sephiroth and the Veritas, he had some pretty good targets.
We saw a complete shift in the way that game 2 was played over game 1 on Mohammed's side. He chose to play a lot more aggressive.
Yeah, I think he once he understood how the deck played, he definitely made some great adjustments. Definitely a harder matchup, I think, for Alejandro's deck. I think that if he gets to see that Sephiroth early, that's kind of one of the key components to kind of slow Mono Water Mohammad down and try and get things going on his side. You know, we didn't see Sephiroth to the end of the game that game, and it seemed like he was kind of behind all game. He almost caught up at one point, but just never quite got there.
Yeah, that discard that we saw that he was doing continuously in game 1 was just very, very helpful in helping him set up and keep contact with Muhammad there in game 1, and we saw nothing of that in game 2.
Nope. Yeah, he had Sid Reigns in his hand when he had 8 cards, but it didn't look like he had a Renoa. Of course, he needed the blocker anyway, but he could have Sid Reigns Renoa into the Porum if he had it, and then like Veritas another forward, and that actually would have been pretty good. But I guess he felt like he needed to rip cards more. We see a Braun come down for the Viking, and we got another Layla Viking combo coming out. Nope, he's gonna play backups. Smart. He can't afford obviously to lose this. This is game 3.
Mm-hmm.
So he wants to get to 5 backups or at least 4 plus a late game snow and get this thing kicked off right.
Yeah, I think that's probably his one of his really good options is to search for that snow, find it,
Yep.
play it on the field because it was definitely a threat in game one, and he knows it.
Yeah, you want it to come down when you've, hit 2, 3, 4 points of damage. You got an established board, and then you just throw down the snow and go straight, to attack phase and start swinging. Try and push that damage count up as high as possible. So both players not really respecting each other's removal. We see Yuna go to the break zone on Mohammed's side. Alejandro discarded a Famford earlier.
Yeah, it looks like they both just want to play who's got the bigger board, and seeing the walk on the other side of the field always just makes me kind of uncomfortable for Alejandro to
Yeah.
play that straight face.
So we see the sail come down. He's going to go search an ice forward. Going to get the Renoa. That tells me he's probably got the Sephiroth in hand. So he'll probably do some shenanigans like that next turn. If I'm Mohammad, I don't know if I hand dump, but I think I get down to maybe one card. He's just going to play some Vikings. Seems good. Pair of Vikings.
It's like the pair of aces right there.
That's it. Yep, there he goes. What did I say? Muhammad goes down to one card. He gets the 5 backups. He gets 2 little bodies on board just to make that Sephiroth play not really that great. The Renoa kind of useless at this point.
Yep.
If he's got Sid Reigns, he can follow up to get rid of one of those Vikings, but he's going to be taking a couple points of damage. Any of you guys just joining us, this is the U.S. Octagon Open finals match between Alejandro on the water ice side and Mohammad on the mono water side. This is a an event that we're going to be running at the start of every Opus. So if you guys weren't able to participate in this one, look for some announcements mid to late July. Once Opus 9 drops, we'll probably kick something off and start it in August.
Look forward to it.
Yes, please look forward to it.
I just want to thank everyone too. I mean, it's been phenomenal seeing how everyone played throughout the tournament and was just really courteous to each other. You know, everyone was calm and collected. There was not really much of any issues throughout it, and it's phenomenal for it being an online tournament. You know, and the first one that we did over here in the U.S.
For sure.
along with you know, organizing for ourselves between, you know, a bunch of different sponsors. So it's been a really fun experience for myself, and you know, I'm sure you could speak for yourself, Florence. You know, you were just telling me earlier today how it's been so much fun streaming and talking about these matches live. You know, it's just exciting.
Yeah, I love it. I really do. So I knock on wood. I'm gonna try and get myself to Nats and Worlds this year. But
Yeah,
if
buddy.
if I don't, then yeah, I definitely don't mind helping out on the commentary. I definitely enjoy it a lot. You see Mohammad playing down a cloud of darkness onto the Veritas. Guess he's just looking to um, get a body down, but he's not going to block with it. So Alejandro doesn't want to be taking damage from a Viking. I can assure you that.
Oh, not in game three.
I feel like Alejandro might be leaving up that fifth backup for Snow, but at this point, I think I just play something down. He's got two gladiators.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one. And I think he is probably waiting for it.
Last turn we saw Veritas come in and break a Viking. Wasn't the most ideal of plays, I think, but
How many Vikings is Alejandro sitting on in his break zone? Is it just a one?
I think one or two.
Okay, there's Edward.
So we're gonna rip a card.
Discards Una, which we know he doesn't care about.
Right. Oh boy, down comes the Kignazzo. So we got minus 4K.
Think he drops a. He's got three in hand.
He's gonna
Think
drop.
he
He's gonna drop
nickel.
another forward, and then swing through with Cloud,
He could do that too.
and then either break a backup that he doesn't care about, or just get rid of the Viking. He probably breaks a backup like Gramps or Merylweb, depending on what he has in hand, and then he's able to hit in with the Viking.
Trying to decide if he wants to pay or not to play something.
I mean, I assume that was his line, but it doesn't look like
He's changing it up. He's going straight to attack.
he's gonna do the Gladiator. Yeah, yeah. So he's gonna do the Gladiator to get that body in, so that when the Cloud resolves, he's got 4. Little risky with the Gladiator up, but Alejandro
Yeah,
lets
because
it
he's
go
probably
through.
gonna lose. He's probably gonna lose another backup here too, or you think he's gonna sack the Viking?
Sacks the Viking, it looks like.
Yep.
Because he sacked the Gladiator, I don't think you can afford to go down to 3 backups. So
No.
it's a pretty good little board that Mohammad has right now.
Well, we saw in game one how he was able to come back pretty easily against a board like this with Cloud and Cagnazzo sitting on the field.
Yeah, I think they're
And
both in
he's
pretty good positions.
sitting on 7 cards in hand to start his turn. Show me the spice. Let's see it.
This card's Jill Nabat for Layla Viking. Didn't see that one coming.
He's still sitting on 6 cards on hand. He's got plenty of cards to play, but he's got to get rid of that cloud of darkness
Yeah, it's
as soon
definitely
as
a good
possible.
threat. It's definitely a good threat for Muhammad to have right now. So this card's a Porum for the Renoa. So he's going to Renoa the Layla to get another Viking in to draw another card.
Wow. Let's go.
Alejandro just making sure that Muhammad's okay with it. If he's got a Cloud of Darkness, that seems pretty sick right now. You just slam that bad boy down.
Yeah, he could afford to pitch 2 from hand to do it.
With no Scholar down and Cagnazzo, the only real major threat Alejandro has to worry about is Nicole. So and there's the
3,
5.
5.
Boom. Get rid of the Cloud.
And just like that,
And
the
just
game turns
like
around.
that.
Here comes the back and forth. Wow. From having nothing to full board. Phenomenal. Phenomenal plays.
Well, it's very interesting too because depending on Muhammad's turn and what he has to follow up, as long as Alejandro plays out a forward, he's got 2 gladiators active, so he can just pull one from his break zone. Um, that Cloud is going to easily deal with Cagnazzo.
Right.
It looks like, oh boy. So we see Muhammad go ahead and target that Layla, get rid of it. So he knew the Cloud was coming, and he just waited. Because most
Yep.
people would have reacted to the Renoa hitting Layla and using the Chooch lane at that point. And obviously, Alejandro wouldn't be playing out the Cloud. So he just kind of waited for that card to come out. It's one of the unfortunate things about Layla Viking that's so fragile that, you know, shit's going to happen. So we see the Layla's gone, the Viking goes off the Cloud, damage goes over, another Cloud.
Wow.
Only paying 2 CP for the night. He's more than fried trading with that Cloud, which Alejandro opts obviously not to do. When he hits an EX Brawn, he's going to pull out that Time Mage.
There it is.
Little mini Genesis.
What does that time mage do again? I didn't catch which one it was.
It's a 3-drop 5k. Dull free is on entry.
Oh, yes.
When we see the Veritas come down, he's going to get rid of that Viking, I'm sure. Yeah.
Both players just not letting go. They do not want to lose this final match at all. Back and forth.
Well, you know what the team 1 second mouse died. So let's talk about this for a second. So you know what the prize support is, but all those guys that are watching, if you haven't participated in the tournament, definitely check us out for the next one. First place is gonna get 2 boxes of Opus 8, compliments of the MV Games and a couple of our other guys, Cards of Evilise and TCG Titans. Second place is gonna get a box. They are both gonna get a very, very sick custom playmat with the Bahamut art that you guys saw at the opening. I'll go ahead and put it up for you real quick. So that's the art right there, and
Yeah,
we're gonna.
that's a play mat that I you're gonna have to make me an extra copy. I'd love to play with that as well. It looks great.
And we're gonna put some their names on it and award the champion and the finalists worded and just do it up right for them. Get them shipped out. They should have them in a couple of weeks. So if either of them decide to go to Toronto, hopefully they'll get it by then, or they'll definitely have it before Kansas and Virginia. So if I was one of them, I'd be rocking it.
Yeah, man, representing. They played pretty hard throughout this tournament. I mean, just watching back and forth, and these other players that were in the top eight, everyone was stacked. It wasn't uh, a top eight where you're just like, I don't know how this deck is gonna run. Everyone was ready to go.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah. I loved all the lists.
Oh, looks like he's back.
Is he gonna play down the time mage maybe? Seems like a pretty good idea. And he's thinking twice about it. He's got 7 cards in hand, so he can definitely do some things.
Yeah, he knows he wants to get rid of that cloud of darkness one way or another, even if it's slowing it down for a turn, which we know he can do for sure. Question is, how? Can he develop a big enough board to swing through with Cloud of Darkness only swings through for 1K for each, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so
He decides to
well,
play down
that
a Glacia, so he's going to target the Clow with Glacia.
okay.
Force to discard, so if he's got an answer, he forces it. Lena goes out. I bet you he's got a Sid Reigns in hand to finish off the Cloud and get the last discard hand out of Muhammad's hand. Card out of Muhammad's hand. Or no, he's just going to swing through with the Cloud on it. It's going to be interesting, though, because the Cagnazzo can just free block. Because it takes 10k damage to break it, so
Mm-hmm.
maybe he wants that. Maybe he has a real easy answer to finish off the Cagnazzo. No, he decides to block with Veritas.
Yeah, which is what I thought would happen.
Yeah.
Which I was thinking, was kind of deciding on if he would have made a better choice by locking down that Veritas with that Time Mage. So then he only had the choice to block with Cagnazzo.
Let's see what his follow-up is. He's going to discard the Time Mage to make it live off the Gladiators on future turns. And has he got a Veritas? It's got to be a Veritas, I would think. Yep, there it goes.
And he decides to keep the knight.
So costing Alejandro 4 cards in hand. He was able to get rid of 3 very problematic forwards. Alejandro, these guys are both characters. I've been talking to him on Messenger a little bit, and these guys are pretty funny guys. So we see 6. So a Veritas coming down.
Yeah, so Mohammad was sitting here trying to decide whether or not he was going to play one card or another, and Alejandro says, "Take your time. My last turn was 2 hours."
I love it.
Oh, so good.
Opting to get rid of the Renoa. So he blocks with the Veritas. And what is Mohammad decides to get rid of his own Veritas and force Alejandro to get rid of the Brawn back up. And even though he's down a backup, I give a slight edge to Alejandro here. He's got 5 cards in hand. If Mohammad draws dead for a turn or two, he can definitely turn this thing around. And that's a great way to start.
There it is. He is now sitting 3 cards shy, though, of Mohammad.
Yeah, but it's
So,
fine because he hasn't dealt any damage to Mohammad yet.
mm-hmm.
And when Mohammad draws, he'll be at 20. So, it's technically a 1 discrepancy. And then once he starts hopefully dealing in some damage, then he can catch back up.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of back and forth with these decks, depending on the lines they're drawing. Still early game because 3-0 damage. I could see this game going to deck out.
Yeah, that's exactly why I was thinking about it. Because the way, if we look at the resources that have been used so far, we saw a lot of removal already gone on both sides.
Let me see a unit come
Oh,
down.
okay.
I don't know. I think I would have done the Layla Viking and then played that Sarah. Ripped the last card in his hand. 3 bodies on board.
Where's the snow? Is the snow gone already? I
No, we haven't
can't
seen
remember.
snow, I don't think. And Nicole comes down and just wiping off the Layla Viking. And having enough cards to play down that 5th backup, that's so sweet. And another Veritas.
Back and forth they go. Does it? No backups.
So we see Mohammad opting to break the gladiator to pull out probably a knight. Yep, 8k
Yep.
knight just to ward off some damage. Heads up play Mohammad. If he plays his cards right, he can probably just deck Alejandro out at this point. He's in a very good position too. And playing down that scholar lets the knight go up to 9k. He does have to be careful though, because if he decides to block, um, he's gonna have to get rid of the knight, because if he gets rid of a backup, the knight dies anyway. Which I think I'm okay with that trade. But retrospect, he's probably just gonna let the damage go through if he decides to swing.
Yeah, he can afford to, and just keep building bodies to when it really counts. As we get into those
Right.
those final turns.
Well, you got 7 turns left on Alejandro's side, and every odd number swing, he's just shortening the game by another turn. So
Oh, okay.
the Lunafray is actually not a bad play right now, because he can afford to block, lose something, and then when it comes back in, get rid of another forward. But at this point, it doesn't really matter because he's got plenty of forwards. The knight going in. Oh, and the Sephiroth goes over. Good night.
Oh,
That's a bad hit. That
that
is
would
a
have been
very nice hit
helpful.
right now. Man.
I don't know, but it's very expensive now, and I don't think he's too worried about discarding. I think he needs to be focusing more on just dealing with that knight.
He's got to start putting in some damage. I mean, there's no doubt
Yeah,
about it.
yeah, there you go. Swings through, gonna block with a
Ooh, the
lightning.
Lena comes over. That's very, very good.
Oh, two.
Oh, yeah, thanks for pointing that out. I forgot. It doesn't reborn the dark and light forward, so you can't Lunafray Veritas. We see Alejandro blink in the Veritas with the Renoa just to get rid of the forward, which is actually very relevant because after Alejandro passes, Mohammad will draw and their decks will be at the same size. Oh boy, and down comes Sephiroth anyway.
Wow, could you imagine if he didn't rip that Sephiroth and the damage?
That'd be
That
sick,
would have been.
especially if he had the. Yeah, I mean, he'd be able to do it next turn too. And just like that, the deck sizes are exactly the same, and Muhammad has to watch a little bit.
Gonna opt to go for it.
I gotta tell you, what a way to close out this whole tournament, right? Game three, both on 11 cards left in deck. Mohammad throwing down a Nicole to try and close the game out. I bet you a Keknaza comes down.
Oh, okay.
Or he's just gonna do it again and swing in for two more. Yep. Yeah, you scholar bounce the Nicole and play it again, of course. So sick. So sick.
Good
So,
play.
so, so,
Good
so
play.
sick. Good night. And just like that, it looks as though Muhammad. Oh, he opted to Luna Freya the Renoa. To pseudo Luna Freya the Veritas.
Wow. Oh man. These
what,
plays. Oh, there
what do you
goes
think
the
about that?
snow.
What do you think about that, Warsaw? I thought you said Luna Freya. Luna Freya couldn't target that Veritas. That was pretty sick, actually. Not too shabby. So damage 5 and 6 go over. We saw a night. No, I'm sorry. A snow. Oh boy, the snow went over. That would have been so sick right now. And cloud of darkness go over. So
Gotta push some damage.
he can't afford to really. I
I
mean,
know,
it's
that's the
he's in a
problem.
really bad situation right now because he's two cards behind on deck. He can't afford really to attack unless he's got some way to deal with that board.
He's probably thinking about those gladiators, even though it's a really risky play, but I don't think he's got anything left but risky plays.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, you're right. He could technically swing through and he can time mage the knight.
Here we go.
Yeah, time mage the knight. And then I don't know if he's got something else. If he's got another. I think he runs multiple time mage. Maybe he only runs one. Let me see his deck real quick. He only runs one time mage. Oh, if he's got a Sid Rains in hand, that could be game. So 2 points of damage are going in. Scholar and Famfrit. Wow. Um, does Muhammad trigger that? Is the question. That is the question. I think he does. Yeah, I think you get rid of the Layla because, like I said, I can't see the zones. If Sid Rains hasn't made an appearance yet, I think you get rid of that Layla 100%. If that
Yeah,
card in hand is worth anything to you, if it's anything but just a dead backup, another Braun or Moab or something, um, I think you get rid of that Layla 100%. Right now, if I was Muhammad, I'd be checking all my zones, looking at my forward count, looking at my summon count, and just see if there's any way that I can stave off and try and do something.
yeah. I think he takes the Famfrit because he just needs the removal, and then just gotta playing the game to pray that he pulls some forwards if he doesn't have one in his hand already.
Yeah, there you go. Yep, he checked the zones. I'm sure he did, and I'm sure he did not see a Sid Rains yet. And Alejandro choosing Veritas, so forcing Mohammad to make another very difficult decision. Doesn't have a lot of ways to activate forwards in his deck. I might have just got rid of the knight. Maybe not. Maybe he's okay.
Yeah, there's some spice right there.
Really just
He's
depends on what's in his hand. Yeah, I mean that's I'm gonna when I'll make a tournament summary post in the next day or so, and that's gonna be the heads up play right there. That was absolutely sick, especially if Alejandro pulls this game off. That could very well be the turning point. See Alejandro. So he's
yep.
breaking the gladiator, and he's gonna pull out. I don't think he pulls out a Viking here. What's he gonna pull out? He's pulling out the Viking.
He wants
He wants
it
the
all right
damage.
now. He's all in.
He wants the damage. That's what it is. 100%. You're right.
Yep. He's all in.
Yeah.
Because he knows he either has the answer this turn or he doesn't.
Yep. Yeah, that's fair. Oh boy. That's gonna be a hard card to overcome.
Yep. Makes him draw one. I'm just gonna put him down to 3 into the next turn.
Oh,
Got 2
if he
turns.
would have had a Famford, that would have been sweet. What's he gonna do? Yeah. Unfortunately, now he's 2 cards behind. I don't know if I like that Viking play at all, because that Cloud doesn't do anything on entry to the other 2 forwards he has. The Viking forced him to draw 2 additional cards. If he has a pretty good hand and knows that that card draw is going to help him win the game, then it's fine. But personally, I don't think that was a good line. Makes all of his plays less efficient too, not being on 3 backups.
How many glass does he have in his break right now?
I don't know. He's got to have a couple. I know I've seen 1 or 2 at least.
That would be really nice right now to see one of those.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard though because he really needs to swing through
Right.
to kind of equalize the decks again. But if Mohammad swings through with Cloud first, then he can't really efficiently use Glacia because ideally you want a Knight and then dull the Cloud on his turn, and that way you deal with both forwards on your opponent's turn. But Mohammad heads up play. He knows he's running Glacia, so if he doesn't see all 3, he just swings Cloud first.
Right.
And then because the Cloud's there, the Knight can swing through and not trade with Renoa. So Mohammad in a very good position right now. Alejandro having 6 cards in hand, though. I mean, he can definitely do some stuff. Just have to see if it's enough.
I'm so excited right now. Like you don't even understand. Like I just want to see what he's gonna play.
It's sick,
6
man.
cards in hand.
I'm going to pull up his deck list again while he's thinking about that. So we haven't seen a Kuja at all. He only runs 1. The Kuja, if he's got Kuja and Glacia, that's, I would almost guarantee game. He's got to get that Kuja. Because you can Dull Freeze a Cloud, swing through twice. When Knight tries to swing, you Glacia, discard, and unless he's got a forward, then you swing for 6 and 7 on your next turn if you're Alejandro. So, I mean, if he's got the Kuja, you got to slam it down. Got to slam it down. Uh,
Yeah, solid match needed Veritas here.
I don't think the Veritas helps him that much though. Okay, so he's gonna Famfrit. Oh, he wanted to do both. That's what he was talking about. Famfrit and Veritas. I mean, you just get rid of Knight. Yeah. If he would have had a Glacia there, that would have been sweet. Because then he could have Glacia'd the Knight, forced the discard, and then he would have been forced to choose the Cloud. Plays 5. Is it a Kuja? Oh, Sephiroth.
7.
Okay. And he opts. Oh yeah, he can't. Obviously, he can't swing through.
What were the 3 cards he discarded? It was Edward and then what were the other 2?
Edward, Braun, and Conjurer.
Oh wow, so he had nothing.
Yeah, he bricked hard there. So the Sephiroth will get the Dull Freeze on Forum. Swing for a damage. Alejandro will draw to 1. Next turn, Mohammad will draw to 1.
Yeah, this game looks like it's pretty much wrapping up at this point.
He needs a way to mill him one more card. Oh, he's got 1 card in hand. I'm sorry, because he offered the Forum effect. That's right. Plays 3. Sarah forces the discard.
Oh,
Discards a Knight. He's going to Dull Freeze the Forum for a point of damage. Wow. Guys, that's close. Man, that was so close.
wow.
Oh, he needed that Kuja so bad. Oh, man. And that is so, so unfortunate.
And just like that, the tournament has finished.
Oh, hold on. They're still playing it out. And that's it. Wow, what an ending. Right there at the end. Yeah, Mr. Cool, you're exactly right. I mean, I mentioned Kuja, but the same thing with the time mage. Yeah, I don't know if it would have made a difference either, but he needed that dull freeze to get the double damage in. Great, great, great match. Yeah, yeah. If he doesn't gladiator the Viking in and get that double draw, the Cloud of Darkness can't target the Time Mage or the Renoa, or rather target and kill it. I mean, that's the deciding factor. Alejandro has 3 cards left in deck going into that turn. He draws 2, and that would have been it. That really would have been it. He should not have done it. I don't even know if he knows it because he didn't mention it in chat. That's unfortunate though. But boy, what a nail biter. I don't know, man. I'm pretty happy with how that final match went. That
Yeah.
was pretty sick. It was really sick actually. Big congratulations to Mohammad. Watching him at the top cut has definitely been a pleasure the whole way. I'm a pretty big fan of Modern Water myself, so loving the lines. Um, just great matches all around. Yeah, I mean that's the whole reason he brought it back in. He plays a very aggressive play style on this water ice when he can, and he just figured if he can start forcing in the damage, um, he could probably pull it out, not realizing that it was actually gonna go to deck out. I mean, I personally I saw the writing on the wall when they had about 15 to 17 cards left. The damage count was like 3-0 still,
Yeah.
and they're both very, very. They have a lot of control answers, so I
Yeah,
figured,
2 out of the 3 of these matches was decided by deck out because they already knew the ins and outs and how to keep each other at bay, and that's all you can do, right?
yeah, that's exactly right. It may be sacrilege to some of you water players that might be tuning in, but I'm actually not a huge fan of Layla Viking just for that reason. I mean, if you want to shrink down your count or get rid of them altogether, but boy, when you play these mirrors, I mean, that was the deciding factor. If he plays less Vikings, he doesn't play it at all. If he I mean, even if he just doesn't gladiator the Viking in, he wins. But these are very grindy matches with a lot of draw. And the more control cards you have and the less amount you draw, you know, obviously can definitely be a deciding factor. So, um, guys, really appreciate all the support. I've heard nothing but good things for um, from everybody that participated in the tournament. Um, well, we're ecstatic. It went over really well. I think out of the entire 7 rounds of Swiss that we did, the top 8 cut, I had 2 issues in Swiss, and it was more so like Octgn errors, people clicking the wrong buttons and things just to resolve, you know, the hand and board and make sure everything, keep the integrity of the match. So I mean, everybody was just super good, super chill. We're gonna get with all the vendors on your screen, all the sponsors, and get addresses, get everything parted out, prized out. We want to do this pretty quick and make sure everybody gets what they need. Obviously, it's not going to be in time for Portland, but any follow-up tournaments, you'll definitely get your stuff. And I'll get these custom mats made up. And congrats again to Mohammad for winning the first ever Octgn Open. Alejandro putting in a huge, tremendous effort, placing second. Congrats to the rest of the top 8. I'm working with um, Lucas in his next Octgn Open. He's running for the Euro guys. I think we're going to do a collaborative effort after that and do just a strictly like top 8 tournament. So the top 4 guys that finished in this tournament will go over, um, and we'll intermix the bracket and have a international champion at that point. That'll probably be in the next month or two. We haven't hashed out all the details, but definitely look for that.
Yeah, it's going to be something that you guys are definitely going to want to watch. After watching this match tonight and the few that we've had over the past week or two, I mean, it's just been phenomenal.
Yeah, for sure. Um, and you got any? I appreciate you joining me tonight, man. That was kind of a pleasant surprise. We were talking earlier, and you're like, "Yo, you want me to jump on?" So definitely appreciated not having to talk to myself the entire night.
No, seriously, man. Thank you for bringing me onto the stream, and thank you guys and the community. Everyone's been phenomenal. Like I said, I mean, everyone's been really supportive of this. This is something that you know, with me myself, I've been itching to want to do an online tournament for you guys, and as soon as I saw it, mentioned, I jumped all over it, and all the rest of us got together, and it's just been phenomenal all the way through. So I'm really happy with how it turned out. I'm really happy that everyone had a good time. I got messages left and right, while I was doing the scoring from people. Even if it was for something that was not exactly where they wanted to be, if they had to drop or forfeit a match because they had to be out of town. They were still like, "Hey, you guys are doing phenomenal. Really happy to be playing in this." So, thank you to all you guys, and even more, thank you to everyone else, to the sponsors, Lawrence, Cards Vivalis, TCG Titans, Trading Card Game Pit, and of course, Esperden. I mean, it's a team effort, and we all work hard to do stuff for you guys in the community, whether it's over here in the U.S., in Europe, all over the place. We love it. So
Guys, I'm gonna have this uploaded to my YouTube channel and get it posted to the US group. So if any of you guys want to go back and watch it, check it out. I'll post the top two decks as well if you guys want to play around with them. Mono Water, obviously, it's made a big resurgence this meta, but this Water Ice list, it's pretty sick. I really like it. Um, big kudos to Alejandro for that. And thanks for being here tonight, guys. I'll definitely catch you guys soon. Look for some more videos from us. Check out the Emmy Games Twitch chat. They stream box breaks and all kinds of cool stuff. I always pop in there to see what's up. And the rest of our sponsors, check them out. If you guys need your singles boxes, the Cards of Evilise, obviously MV Games, TCG Titans, and the Trading Card Game Pit, these guys, these 4 or 5 individuals have made this thing possible and given out some sick prizes. So check them out. I'm signing off finally. And
and make sure of all of this that you go ahead and follow Tantalus FFTCG right here. Give
don't
this guy some support for all the work that he put in for streaming
don't follow
and
me. Don't follow me. I'm nobody. I don't know I still don't know what I'm doing.
It's okay, man.
I
It's all good.
I can just I can just read cards, so apparently that's better than like half of most TCG players.
Oh,
All right,
okay.
guys, take it easy. Take care. We'll catch you guys soon.
Yes. Take care.